Childish! The people of your world named you Great One. The people of mine called me Slave. Which one of us landed on a paradise of a civilization to be raised by a foster father, huh, Rabute? Which one of us was given armies to lead after trailing in the halls of the McCrackian High Riders? Which one of us inherited a strong and cultured kingdom? Listen to your blue-clad wretches yelling of courage and honor, courage and honor, courage and honor! Do you even know the meaning of those words? Courage is fighting the kingdom that enslaves you, no matter their armies overshadow yours by 10,000 to 1. You know nothing of courage. Honor is resisting a tyrant when all others suckle and grow fat on the hypocrisy he feeds them. You know nothing of honor.
Welcome to an episode talking about Warhammer lore. I am your host, Killer Saw. I am a Chaos Demon VTuber, and I'm a big fan of Warhammer 40k. I have been for the better part of over, I would say, almost a decade now. I've been playing the game since about 7th edition, so I kind of know my lore a little bit. A little bit of a caveat, I do not know the entire lore of Warhammer, so don't expect me to know literally everything. I may be an encyclopedia of knowledge, but there is much more knowledge that I need to expand upon. And today I wanted to talk about my favorite Primarch, Angron. So who is Angron? Well, Angron's kind of, so Angron is by far the most mad out of all, like in like not in an insane sense, but in more of like actual anger sense. I mean, his name is fucking Angron, for God's sake. So but here, I'm going to read you guys a quote from Angron himself. Not Angron. This is from, this is actually from Angron. You kept that mule, Faerun, Russ, kept his kin friends. The lion kept Luther, humans, brothers, and foster fathers. Saved and raised into legion ranks, but not me, not Angron. No. Did the Emperor teleport his golden wrapped custodies down to help me and my army? No. Did he free the warhounds and order them to battle, fight alongside me? No. Did he save my brothers and sisters the way he spared and honored the lion's closest kin, the way he honored Kay Farron? No, no, and no. No mercy for Angron, Angron the Oathbreaker, Angron the Betrayer. This was whenever Angron was explaining his anger towards the Emperor to his brother Lorgar, Primarch of the Wordbearers. So Angron is referred to in the lore by 3 names. He's referred to as the Red Angel, Angronius of Nuceria, and the Lord of the Red Sands. He is also the Primarch of the traitor legion known as the World Eaters. He was basically mostly a bloody-handed savage combat of all the Primarchs. Think of him as like the typical stereotypical barbarian, like blood, death, murder, you know, that's his whole fucking thing. So not really much is known about his history on Nuceria. What we do know, however, is that he basically what happened after after Zeech kind of threw all the Emperor's babies into fucking space and played fucking ping pong ball with Primarch super babies. So he got to Nuceria that way, but we don't know his childhood and upbringing on Nuceria. All we know really about Nuceria was that it was this death world. It was basically a gladiatorial combat world where the ruling class would have the poor essentially fight in Nuceria, and specifically Angron was one of the war dogs. He was a fucking great ass barbarian. He was a savage. Like, this motherfucker, you do not want to be in the ring with him. So the thing was with him is that he during the time Angron was mentioned by an old gladiator by the name of Onymos, who formed a deep bond with the young gladiator and became somewhat of a father figure to the impressionable warrior. Together, the two formidable warriors slew deadly tally in gladiatorial arenas on Nuceria, and which claiming astounding victory against the pair of berserk ogrim that were surgically equipped with deadly cybernetic implants known as the Butcher's Nails. These will come into factor later. Their momentous victory, however, proved to be short-lived, as the Macragian High Riders demanded that the two gladiators fight one another to the duel to the death. The fiery Angron refused and ultimately insulted his Nucerian masters. This resulted in Angron having the Butcher's Nails implanted as a form of punishment. And so what the Butcher's Nails are, they're essentially these cybernetic implants that were placed on Angron's brain. And if he wasn't feeling an emotion equivalent to anger, he literally would be in constant pain. Their momentous victory, however, proved to be short-lived, as the High Riders demanded that the two gladiators fight one another. Again, basically the Butcher's Nails are relics from the Dark Age of technology. Their cortical implants artificially boosted a warrior's adrenaline, like increasing their strength, basically turning them into essentially the Hulk. Not like in like the full physical, like turning green, but in like the strength category, having like the strength of like hundreds of men. And the Butcher's Nails like turned you into like a savage. Like the amount of testosterone that would go through your body would just be insane. Basically, the death of Onymous was then later killed by Angron himself, and was set loose upon his friend and tore him apart in a blind berserk frenzy. Upon regaining his senses, Angron realized the horrible transgression that he committed against his mentor, and was driven to such depths of despair that it was said that he unleashed a bestial howl equivalent to an animal for several solar days. The death of Onymos proved to be too much for Angron to bear, and he swore that one day he would make good on his escape and make all the High Riders pay dearly. Within a few years, Angron's fame had spread to every corner of this planet. Under his training, the gladiators of his arenas soon became the greatest of their world and had ever seen, and none could stand against them. Yet Angron also learned following a final failed escape attempt that he would never succeed alone. So he decided to start a rebellion against the High Rider clans of Nuceria. Angron planned his most daring escape attempt. We don't really need to go too much into his escape attempt. All you really need to know is that the Angron had led an uprising against the Imperium. So basically, the rebellion didn't go too well, and on the mountain Fedden Moor, a bleak split of land known as the Giselica Ridge. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Angron and his forces were finally surrounded by no less than 7 large Nucerian armies. They were surrounded on this mountain pass, and not even a Primarch could stand against such sheer numbers. Yet it was at the time the Emperor of Mankind came to Nuceria, drawn by the psychic emanations of his gene son, the Primarch, which was, of course, Angron. The Emperor had observed Angron secretly from orbit for months and had watched the Pride as he had led his freed slaves in battle against the forces of tyranny. The Emperor and a small cadre of Leto Custodes descended on the world's surface, and after the shock of and a gust of meeting had half worn off the Primarch, the Emperor offered Angron leadership of the 12th Space Marine Legion, the Warhounds, which had been created from Angron's own genetic material and placed at his side in the Great Crusade. To the Emperor's disbelief, Angron refused. Angron didn't actually want to work for the Emperor. He wanted to free Nuceria and free his people, free the slaves that he had fought with. Basically, he wanted to claim his place remained with the fellow slaves amongst the eaters of cities, and he would die before deserting them. Reluctantly, the Emperor teleported back to his flagship, and shocked at his son's refusal. Appraising the situation, the Emperor saw that for all of Angron's might as a Primarch and a leader, he would die in the coming battle. Losing one of his irreplaceable sons to the assault of the rabble of a backwater planet, soon to be brought into the Imperial compliance, was not acceptable to the Emperor. Basically, the Emperor teleported Angron to from the surface to this flagship against Angron's will. And in a fit of sudden violence, Angron killed one of the custodians, but the Emperor intervenes, and the Primarch was forced into a state of submission by the Emperor's psychic abilities. Basically, Angron wasn't very, very happy about this, which, I mean, he was kind of pissed, and he reluctantly led the Legion Master, he became the Legion Master of the Warhounds for a good period of time. He had 2 second-in-commands, Ibrahim Guerrier and Captain Karn, who was otherwise known as Karn the Betrayer, as we know him now. Basically, during this time, Angron would fight alongside the Emperor reluctantly in the Great Crusade, knowing that the Emperor had left his slaves to die, or had left his army to die. And essentially, Angron became really pissed. He wanted to end. He was so fucking ticked off that he actually later on, after Lorgar's betrayal and how he turned Horus, he just fucking betrayed the Emperor after hearing that they had fucking worked with the Macraggian High Riders later on, and specifically Gilliman, the robot girly man, as I hilariously like to call him, the Primarch of the Ultramarines, had actually been welcomed into the offices of the Macraggian High Riders as a guest of honor. And this fucking pissed him off. And you know, I'm obviously glossing over this lore, but the thing with Angron is that he had lost pretty much everything and was forced to lead an army of his sons that he had no attachment to. Now, his sons, in order to dedicate to him, actually willingly took the butcher's nails. I'm not sure why they did. I would have to look up more lore on that, but the thing is that the butcher's nails are kind of what drove him to chaos. Like, Horus had basically used Angron during the war to help lead his armies against the High Lords of Terra during the invasion. Yeah, he and essentially just was a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. You know, he served during the Battle of Kalth. He fought Gilliman, he fought Leman Russ, I think at one point. But eventually the corruption from the Chaos God Khorne had led him down a path to become essentially a demon prince. Now, this goes into what a demon prince is, but he's more of like basically a demon Primarch. Now, a demon Primarch is kind of like a demon prince, but they take like all of that psychic energy that the Emperor gave these Primarchs and amplify it to like 12, and then give them like fucking wings and tails and the strength to destroy planets. Like demon Primarchs are probably the most dangerous, top 5 most dangerous threats in the Imperium, because Angron became immensely strong. He became this like fucking hulking beast. He went from Angron of Nuceria to Angron the Red Angel. He now in the 42nd millennium, he now leads these massive raiding groups known as the World Eaters, who were the former Hounds Legion, and he cuts his way across the battlefield in like massive blood and glory. Fun fact about Angron as well, he punched a demon prince so hard that he turned it into a sword. It might have been a greater demon, but he still punched a goddamn guy into the shape of a sword. Yes, his sword right there, that is a fucking demon prince. I hope you guys understand that. This motherfucker punched a demon into the shape of a sword. This guy is literally Mike Tyson, but in demon form. Like, this motherfucker is insane, and he's fuck-ass mad. So don't try to hug him. All right. So clearly don't even try it. All right. That's about it for me. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I didn't get everything right, I'm pretty sure. If you guys have any like input on Angron's lore or have any more to add to the discussion, please submit them in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. As a reminder, I do stream Monday through Friday on twitch.tv/KillerSawVT. If you want to follow me there, feel free. And yeah. All right, I'm bad at outros. Bye.